versus me, the struggle is real. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. Why don't you choose yourself? Choose yourself right now. It's me versus me, the struggle is real. The struggle is real.
Well, welcome tonight to It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge, Series 1, Episode 6. Now, you won't want to miss this episode because we will be meeting our newest participant, and she is awesome. Learning about some different types of diets of which foods can cause an inflammatory response. And we will also be learning about celiac disease and gluten issues. We also have a guest speaker who is very knowledgeable about the inflammatory response that comes with certain foods, and you don't want to miss from a mama's touch, as she and my dad did their very own video this week. It's hilarious. It's so adorable. Now, we have had a great weekend as we set up at the Christmas extravaganza in Paris and got to share a lot of me versus me supplies, info, and just shared love for our community. We did notice there is a huge complacency with our obesity issues, as a lot of folks just don't want to know what their body is trying to tell them through our state-of-the-art 3D Staiku scanner. And you couldn't believe how many people just didn't want to know what their body was telling them. Well, tonight, Rhonda has a quick update for her goals that she met this week. She went from a sapphire to a pearl on our success chart. So come over, Rhonda, and let's hear what you have to say. So excited. All right, let's hear what happened. Now, you have been a part of Me versus Me. It's Me versus Me for 3 weeks.
Right.
And your main goal right this second was to get under 200 pounds for your doctor's appointment in 3 weeks.
Yes.
So you started out at 212.
Yes.
And you told me the night before you went to the doctor, you said it will be bad if I have to walk into the doctor's office completely naked so I can get on the scales and weigh under 200. Is that what you told me?
That's right.
Okay. So I said that is, I hope you don't
Not
have
going
to
to
do
happen.
that. So tell us what happened when you went to the doctor's office.
Well, I weighed my morning weigh in my gown, and it was at 200, and I thought, oh man, because I wanted to be under 200 when I went to the doctor. And so when I got up on the scales after I took my glasses off and my watch and my shoes, then it registered 199.
Oh.
I was so excited. So that means that in 3 weeks that I have lost 13 pounds.
I am just
Yeah.
exuberantly happy
And
with
I
that.
have eaten every day. I have had some kind of exercise every day, some days more than others.
Right. Especially when we did what at the gym?
Yes.
We
Everything.
did running the stairs.
Yes.
And then we did fast walk,
Yes.
backwards walk, fast walk, backwards walk on the trail, walking
Right,
trail. We
right.
did that Civic Center. Yeah.
Basketball
Yeah, basketball. Yeah.
and all the other stuff we did.
Right.
I was sweating. I thought the roof was leaking. But so I'm really pleased with how it's going so far. Like I said, I've eaten every day, I've exercised every day, and I have drank 100 ounces of water every day, and at least, and stayed. My goal is to stay under 1,000 calories. And I have put the app on my phone, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm putting it in a book because that's what I've done before, and I know that's what works for me. So someday when I have a day that I have a lot of patience, I'll switch to the new electronic age.
I
So,
understand. Well, let me know, what did the doctor say about you being under 200?
so when they do blood work, it's just my regular annual physical, so it wasn't anything for any problems. But when he called me back after the lab work came in, every single thing on the whole chart was in the normal range.
Wow.
Everything,
Wow.
except for 0.1 was below normal for my potassium. I mean, we're talking everything normal: blood pressure, cholesterol, sugar,
Wow.
all the other nutrients that they test in your body.
Wow.
And so that was a wonderful report. So I need to drink a glass of orange juice or eat a banana every day. And he said, you don't want to take a potassium pill because they're big horse pills.
They are
So,
terrible horse pills,
yeah,
for sure.
so I think that I can probably get that little bit up.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best doctor's report that I have had in my adult life.
And you are how old?
I will be 70 November the 30th. So I've lost 13 pounds, and it would just be great if I could lose 13 more pounds by November 30th on my birthday.
Let's see, today's what, the 15th or 14th, 15th, something like
So
that?
I might not can do that, but
Wow. Well, that's
I'll just stay committed to my plan, and I know that this is the time, because I can't wait and do it a few years down the road. You know, when you're 70, you know, you're so old, and so I'm committed to getting down to my what's supposed to be my healthy weight is 140, and I know it's been a long, long time since I've been 140, but that's my goal.
Well, I'm so
And I'm going to do
excited.
it.
I know that you are.
I'm going to do it.
I really know that you
No,
are.
I really am.
I know you are, because you don't have the long-term process going on.
No, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, you are a blessing, and thank you for sharing the update. This is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see what you weigh next week.
Right.
And then we're going to work out at the gym again this week.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right. You have a good night, and thank you so much for coming tonight. And now we would like to introduce our brand new participant, Missy. So stay tuned right here and just watch her little video of why she's decided that now is the time to do it. Okay, I'm introducing Missy to you. And Missy, I'm so thankful to have met you this past weekend. You are a beautiful person and a beautiful spirit and a beautiful soul.
Aw.
Just getting to talk to you and meet you, you're just a beautiful person, and I'm so thankful and honored to get to know you. Really, I am. What I want to ask you today is, you've decided to make the Life Change Challenge. So let me ask you why you have thought that maybe you would want to do this.
This particular, because there's support and motivation and those things like that. In general, I want to feel better. I hurt all the time. My knees hurt. It's just junk. My back hurts. All that stuff. I want to not hurt. I want to live a little longer. My daughter's 17. I'm not getting younger, but I can get healthier to be around for her. And I just want to feel better about me.
Amen to that.
I won't say what I wrote, but
Right now, I would love for you to meet a very special person that I met over the weekend. Her name is Missy. Welcome, Missy, to the set today. So we just watched your first video, and you and I had talked about why you felt like now is the time to do things. So just kind of elaborate on some of the things that you've been doing in your life journey up until now? And let's just elaborate a little more on why you feel like that now is the time.
Well, I'm not getting any younger,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I have a 17-year-old daughter that I would like a few more years with to see her grow and be her successful little self. And I want to feel better,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to look better,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to have energy to do my job. I love my job. I work with children in the DCS system, so they need extra love, and I want to have that energy to put into that.
Now, what you do for a living, I commend you and respect you highly. My daughter's a preschool teacher, and I tell her there's a special place in heaven for teachers. Like Rhonda is a teacher. What you do with children is so rewarding, I feel like, and working with kids is just amazing. And I do think that there's a special place in heaven for people like you. The things that you see and experience with kids. I'm so thankful that you care enough about your health to do something like this. I'm so excited about it. And so we would like to watch your past self about what you had told yourself in our little tripod that we do. And let's watch that video right now. And Missy, we haven't rehearsed any of these questions, but what would you tell your past self, knowing what you know now? What would you say to your past self that might make a difference for you today?
Choices. You are your choices, whatever that is. We're talking about food and exercise, but whatever those choices you make, they are you. Make good choices.
Well, that's fantastic. Absolutely. I love what you said to your past self. A lot of people that talk about their past self talk about the things that they should have kept doing that were working. And I think you had talked about your Weight Watchers and keto and the things that you've tried in the past. And so when you get to your future self and you look back to your past self, which is now, hopefully it will feel different when you get to that point to where you say, I'm glad that I stuck to the plan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about choices.
Mm-hmm.
I can make it or I can not make it. Like your
Right.
shirt says. I mean, I'm living either way. I'm either living miserable or I'm going to live feeling better and happier about myself. So it's going to be good.
I love that. Now, today was your first day that you have that mindset, really.
Yes.
Maybe the second day because I met you on Sunday and today's Tuesday. So how did it feel today when you woke up? Was it different for you in your thought process? Is it something that's constantly there now, or has that become something that you're really realizing about what you've been doing?
I ate breakfast for the first time in a while.
Wow. Okay.
It was just a little protein bar,
That's
but
all you need.
I woke up hungry, so I didn't go home and pig out after I talked to you yesterday.
Right.
And then, so I was
Good job.
hungry. I had my protein bar. I had a simple sandwich for lunch, and I did drink a Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I've had, and I was conscious to log it, pay attention to it.
Awesome. Yeah.
It was a good day for that.
Yeah. So it's actually a lot of fun to log stuff on your Lose It app, isn't it?
When you see that, it's eye-opening.
So we started drinking coffee with cream in it, and I was thinking I was doing okay. And then I got to reading it and I thought, that's 5 grams of carbs in each 2 tablespoons. And so now I've tried to figure out what I'm going to do because I used to love coffee and then I got to where I didn't love coffee. Now I love coffee, but I love that creamer, but it doesn't come in sugar free. So I'm trying to figure out how to put vanilla in it with this and trying to make it where it will do good. But it does make you conscientious because every time you have to log something, those calories pop up and those carbs pop up so fast. And one day I said, I'm going to keep my carbs under 50 carbs a day. By the time I got done being carb conscious, I actually had nearly 80 carbs that I had eaten that day. And I was so mad at myself. And I thought, I can't even figure even out how I did that. So it's fun.
It's easy to get lost in it when you're not looking at it. When you see that picture pop up, I had asked you about that app. If I enter something and then I change my mind and I don't want to eat it because it's like crazy, can I take it out? That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Because you can see it before you eat it.
delete.
Delete, put that up.
Well, have you come up across something that you can scan it and see how that works?
My Dr. Pepper.
You're done. Okay, so do you remember how many calories your Dr. Pepper had?
I don't remember. I
See-
didn't really want to look at it. I just said I did. But I did scan it and I did enter it, but I hadn't overdone it already in the day. And this was just a couple hours ago, so it didn't blow it out.
Yeah.
So I have some calories left for the day.
Well, that's good actually. Now you can go home and we teach that if you eat off a 9-inch plate and a fourth of it can be your meats and half of it can be like your green vegetables and then a fourth of that can be your starches or whatever. Sometimes that's a whole easy way to gauge how you're going to plan your meals like that. So that's really great. So when you ate breakfast this morning and then you had a sandwich at lunch, did you feel like your day was better that you ate this morning or could you even tell a difference at all?
I could tell a difference in that I wasn't hungry all day.
Okay, great. And what'd you have for breakfast?
A little protein bar.
Oh, yeah, that's what you
those
said.
Melaleuca brand.
Yeah. Now, did you scan that one?
It doesn't have a barcode on it. I
Oh.
tried, but when I entered it and lose it, it's already in there.
It's already in there. Yeah, so that's really good. Well, you're going to find that it's a whole lot of fun to tag all that stuff. That's really great.
Only if I delete what I would normally eat.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you have to put how many servings you eat of something, that's a whole different big deal too. So you look
Yes.
at that and you think, do I really want to eat that? Do I need 1 serving or 2 servings? It really does help a lot. I love those apps that we use for sure. Well, we're going to go to your next video. So take a look at this video right now. It's going to be exciting. Go ahead. So you've decided to do this now. And so what do you say to your present self right now? Because we know that we're getting into a journey and it's a challenge and it's a struggle is real. And it's a me versus me. So what would you say to yourself to help yourself be motivated? What would you tell yourself if you were sitting in my shoes where I'm at right now? What would you say to you?
Choices. I have a choice to make, and it could continue on this path and be miserable and look miserable and feel miserable, or I can make a choice to change that with the tools that you're going to provide. Your people are providing me the knowledge, the tools, the information, and I can make a better choice.
Absolutely. I love it. Love it. So you were talking on your video on your present self. Now we had talked about what you're going to do for your working out because you live a little far out in the country, not like us who live in town. And it's easier for us to go to the gym because of your time you get off from work and the time we go to the gym and all that stuff. But we're going to try to make arrangements to make that happen for you too. So, so your bicycle that you were talking about that you got in the corner somewhere, did you have you got a plan about how you're going to do that? Are you going to do it in the evening or in the morning or what are you going to do? I think you get up really early though, don't you?
I get up in time to go.
Yeah, that's like I
So
am.
that's not going to happen. The afternoon, I did go home last night and get on it.
Oh, good.
I
Good.
went straight home and cleaned it. Well, my husband cleaned it off,
Good job.
and I did right. I didn't do 30 minutes. I only did 15.
That's all
'cause
right.
It's my first time in a long
Yeah.
time.
Well, I think
But I
that's
did it.
fantastic. Yeah, keep that thing cleaned off because all those things they do become a catch-all for all your clothes and everything else.
It
And
had all kinds of stuff
yeah.
on it. But I did do it. I did it for
Mhm.
15 minutes, and kind of my knee started hurting a little bit, so I'm going to work into that. But I did do it. I took the stairs at work today
Good.
instead of the elevator every day.
Wow. Wow.
It's
You.
just little steps, but for me,
Mhm.
those are big things because I avoid them.
Now we might see about getting finding you a little knee brace too while you're getting stronger and everything.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. Well, I can't wait for us to get to go to the gym and work out together. We have a lot of fun there, and it's just a good camaraderie, and it's a good group support system, and
Right.
I love that. And I would love to look at your video now of your future self and what you said to yourself. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that right quick. So, Missy, you're going to talk to your future self, and you're seeing yourself at the 150 that you would like to be, which your BMI is going to be about 23, is going to be perfect. So tell me what you would say to your future self once you reach that goal. What would you want to say to her?
Do I have to be serious, or look at me?
No, you don't have to be serious.
I told my family when I left you Sunday, I'm busy. I'm gonna be skinny and cute. But you gotta laugh or you'll break down and get frustrated and quit. But honestly, when I get there, I want to share that with somebody else so they can get there.
Absolutely.
I mean, it ain't all about me, but I am gonna wear some cute clothes.
Amen to that. Well, I definitely think you're going to get there. And we're going to do it together.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, your future self, when you talk to your future self, can you actually see the goal in the future? Can you see that happening? If truthfully, as many times as we stop and start, can you see that at all?
Maybe. I can't say yes because that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
My numbers are high.
Yeah. Now, what was your weigh-in, if you don't mind telling us? I forgot.
It was 203, but that was
203.
afternoon, and we think it might be about 199.
Did you weigh this
I
morning?
forgot. Can you believe I forgot?
Well, you'll have to text me tomorrow and tell me what
I
it is.
will. I will.
I can't wait to see it. It's okay if you can't see that future. It's hard for me to see my future. I have 35 more to go. And it's hard for me to even see my future. The first plateau that you hit, you do well for a while, and then that plateau comes, and you are like, I cannot believe that I've hit this plateau. And so next week, we're going to talk about the 10 reasons why we don't keep the weight off. And we had started a series on that here a while back, and we haven't finished those yet. So I'm going to go back to that because we need to remember that we'll hit those plateaus, and it's okay. And we need to accept ourselves that we do that, our bodies do that. So I want to thank you so much for coming tonight, and I can't wait to get to meet you and know you and let you meet all the other girls, and hopefully we'll get some guys in here soon. We're looking for guys to be on the show. So if you know somebody that would love to do this, they don't have to come on the show, but to be a life change challenge would be great. So we'd love some guys. And I want to thank you so much. And you're just a beautiful person. I can't wait to get to know you more. Thank you so much. And now you will not want to miss what my mother on Mama's Touch has done this week. My mother decided that she was going to video her own video, which she doesn't even know how to work the video camera on her phone. So I think we're going to have a little bit of bloopers, which I think is adorable. And I just laughed and laughed. She said, "Look what I did." And I said, "Okay." So she did that, and I'm so excited for you to get to see. She actually has taken her chicken that she usually puts it in a baggie, and then she marinates it with Diet Dr. Pepper and some seasoning salt and some tenderizer. But this time she decided to do it differently, and she was so excited about sharing it. And she said it just melts in your mouth when you eat it. So please stay tuned for a Mama's Touch. Thank you.
Now, I don't know if it's on video or not.
You can tell when it's
Yeah, it's what it's doing.
doing.
It's counting down.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gary's mama. I guess this is,
And this is Mama's kitchen.
and that's, and it's called Mama's Touch, I think. And Billy's taping this, and this is the first time we ever tried doing this without Gary doing it. So, I want to tell you about this chicken, and I know we've done chicken before, but this chicken is better than what we did last time. I want to tell you about this chicken. This was big chicken breast. Here they are, they're fixed right here. I put them in here, and then I thought about taping it so that I could show you, because I didn't, it'll be a week or 2 or 3 or 4 before I do it. We do another one. And I want to tell you about the chicken breast. This is a big thing. It was $12.71, and it's a bone and skin on, and it was 5 pounds and 55, whatever that is, 5.5 pounds anyway. And it was on sale, and it was $12.71. It was on sale for $8.47. And the tag got torn off when I tore it up. And they were frozen, and I'd let them sit in the refrigerator half a day. And then I brought them in here and let them sit about an hour. And I covered them up with a towel so they wouldn't be hot on the top. And then I needed to go to physical therapy, and so I'm just going to cook one. So Billy helped me, and we took one apart from those two. There was 3 in here, 3 breasts, huge. And we took them apart. Billy mostly took them apart. And so I took one and put it in here. And while I was going to physical therapy and came back, and about an hour and a half, I took it out at 3:25, and it was probably 2 hours because I waited a while before I took it out, and got the thermometer and put it right in the middle down, and it was done. It was 170 degrees. It was 175 degrees. And it's supposed to be 165, I think. Or higher up, it doesn't hurt a bit. And so that was skin, everything on it. We just take it out of this package, put it in here. We don't wash it because they say, the experts say, don't wash them, because it scatters germs all around your kitchen if you're washing them. It gets all in the sink and everywhere that you can't even tell. And so you just put it in here. I sprinkled on here seasoning, salt, and meat tenderizer. And I don't put a whole lot on them. And then I just take the forks and I just stab them while they were right there. And then I put them in here. And then you just put them in here and cover them up. And I just covered up this on the inside like that, and that on the outside. And everything is all sealed, and it's non-stick aluminum foil. And put them in there and cook them. They come out, they just are, and then when they're hot, I don't have much feeling in my hands, and I just do it with hot. When they came out, I just started, and I just pulled the skin off. This is all gone. I took this, it was right here, and I took the bone, it just slipped right out. The skin just peeled right off, and I just started doing it, and I got big hunks, and it was just a beautiful pile of chicken, and it is so good. And I think that's all I want to tell you. But then this gets wrapped up and sealed, and I X it all over with a marker and put it in the freezer, a bag that won't drip. It's just a grocery bag, and be sure it doesn't have any holes in it. And mark it up, and stick it in the freezer, and when you get ready to go to the garbage or take the garbage off, take it out of the freezer, stick it in the bag, and it's gone. No, it didn't mess the thing up because we never took it out of here till we put it in here. I think that's all I need to tell you. Thank you very much. I enjoy being on here. Bye-bye.
How long was it?
Okay, it's working. All right, I'm holding it this way right now. I'm holding it up and down. I'm holding it this way
Okay.
right now. And see.
Is it on video?
Uh-huh. Okay, hello. Let's see what it's doing. Hello. 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 Okay, now it's started.
Yeah, but
Now it's starting.
okay, everything's right too.
Let me see. Let it run.
Hmm.
Take a picture of me. Okay. Now you
Okay.
see me?
Yes.
Okay. Then to stop it
Push the red button.
again.
I just have to say that a Mama's Touch is such a blessing that they have taken their own camera and their own phone and figured out how to video how to make chicken. So I cannot wait to try this chicken at home because my mother and dad, they are just the cutest things ever. So thank you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And right now, I would like to welcome our special guest, Christine Bai. Welcome to our set, Christine.
Thank you.
I'm excited about having you here because we have talked so much about, well, you've been trying to teach me about inflammatory response with food. So just kind of share some things and why you feel that you know things, and I'll let you tell your story if you don't mind.
Okay, well, I have a couple autoimmune disorders, and for me, the first response to anything that my body doesn't like is inflammation. Usually, it's in the form of pain.
Okay.
And so I've done some research on and some elimination diet on, like which foods trigger that for me, which foods are the opposite, anti-inflammatory. I've done elimination, to where you eliminate down to you're supposed to eliminate down to like a few main foods, and then you add in, and then when you add in, you see how your body responds and that type of thing.
So a lot of people that have a lot of fibromyalgia symptoms, I'm going to call it that, because a lot of times we can't figure out what it is, so we just call it fibromyalgia.
Yes.
And so because with fibromyalgia, you got the depression, you have the pain, the pressure points, things like that. So whenever you decided that you weren't going to take it laying down, basically, because in order for you to know that it's a food issue, you would have had to really dive into it yourself, or did you have a doctor that pointed it out? You figured out that there was some days you were better, some days you weren't better. Is that how you decided to look into that?
Yes. And I don't know if you've had any experience with autoimmune and doctors, but oftentimes doctors, they kind of, like you said, pass it off as like fibromyalgia. They diminish the symptoms, and they diminish even the cause and effect and the opposite cause and effect, to help make you feel better. I have helped educate several doctors on certain foods. In fact, one time I asked a doctor, well, is there any dietary things I can do to help with a certain pain that I was having? And she said, no, there's nothing you can do for that pain. And so I did my own research, and figured out, yes, there actually is. And the main thing with that one was sugar.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So I think a lot of times it's like, well, we just came from the Christmas extravaganza, and we shared a lot of things about our it's me versus me. We did scans there. That's where Missy, our new participant, came from.
That's so cool.
It is very cool. She
Yeah.
is so fabulous. She is fabulous. So it really disheartened me that as we're sitting there trying to get people's attention to show them what we had to offer, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to participate. They didn't want to know anything that their body was telling them. And I went home very depressed on Saturday. We did Saturday, Sunday. And then Sunday, I just thought, what's the point? Because nobody wants to hear it anyways. And I got very discouraged. And that's the truth about that. And so I just thought there's just no reason to even try to help people. I see the light now. And if somebody would have said, hey, I have a scanner right here that can scan your body and tell you a lot of things about your body that you really need to know, I would have paid to do that, because I think that that's really cool to have that. And do you think that maybe doctors deal with so many people who are drug seeking or just want to take a pill? A thing on Facebook where you have, you shared it too, where you have the whole line of the doctor and pharmacy,
Right.
and then you have the other line that's lifestyle change,
Yeah.
and there's nobody in this
line.
one, but there's 15 people in this line.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that analogy. So do you think that maybe doctors just don't know that it's even worth their time to even share? Because most people don't care. They want to take a pill, or they want somebody to coddle them and make them feel better with however they. Do you think that has something to do with it, or maybe?
I think there's a lot of factors. I think, yes, definitely. I think people want the easy way.
Yep.
I think people are in denial. And a lot of people have been, I'm going to say, brainwashed to what the doctor says is right. And they're human just like we are. And they've researched what they've, whatever they've researched. And stuff is constantly changing. We're constantly getting new and new information.
Boy, that's really true. So this inflammatory response, from an RN's perspective, inflammation comes from our body's trying to defend itself. So go ahead and talk about what you know. I would love to hear what you know about this.
What I know personally is what it does to me. And when you asked me to talk about it, I was like, oh boy, all I know is what it does to me, and you even mentioned, like, how does the process work and all of that? And I don't know. I think that's maybe my form of denial. Maybe I don't want to know. I'm kind of like, just tell me which foods are safe for me, and I'll just stick to that list. I don't need to know the whys and all that. So I had to do some research. And one of the things which we talked about, along with like kind of your RN background, is the positive. There is a positive to inflammation. Of course, I never thought of that. And I knew that I couldn't come up with, in my own words, the right way to explain inflammation. So I went on the internet.
Right.
And I actually got WebMD, which a lot of times we try not to look at. And this is from specifically the Women's Health Guide.
Okay.
It says the word inflammation traces back to the Latin for set afire. In some conditions, like rheumatoid arthritis, you feel heat, pain, and can have redness and swelling. But in other cases, like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and diabetes, is not so obvious. If you don't go looking for it with tests, you may not even know. So I can't imagine that most people that have been exposed to Alzheimer's, whether they are experiencing it or experiencing it through someone else, I'm sure that most people don't think of it as it's an inflammatory
That's interesting.
issue.
Yeah. I need to look that up. That's a new one for me, because I do a lot of Alzheimer's teaching and things, and that's very interesting for me. I'm going to look that up, because I I'd love to know.
Yeah.
And also on the realm of inflammation, when our body gets subjected to something it doesn't like, it actually sends antibodies. So if you get a cut and it gets red, like I got a thing right here.
Yeah.
There you go. So it got aggravated, it got hurt.
Right.
And so it made a bubble, and then it's made a scab, and that's our own body's defense.
Right.
And like with rheumatoid arthritis, that's our own body trying to kill itself off. It sees our own bodies as being a threat.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it throws all these antibodies out there, and that's where you get the rheumatoid arthritis, the inflammatory response to, if you will. So when you eat food that can cause an inflammatory response, your whole body is in an uproar, I guess, if you will, right?
Yeah, and it's so complicated, and I'm finding it more and more complicated because you may respond negatively to one thing, and I may respond negatively to something else. And there's different kind of like diets that you can follow, and I don't mean like weight loss diets. I mean like an anti-inflammatory diet, an antihistamine diet, the AIP autoimmune protocol diet, and like I have autoimmune disorders, and so if I follow an autoimmune diet, there could still be things that are not antihistamine, or there could be things on there that my body doesn't like. One thing that I just researched was blueberries. They're very anti-inflammatory, but they're also on what's the verbiage for it? I'm really sorry. The Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen.
What's on the Dirty Dozen?
So the Dirty Dozen are fruits and vegetables that have the most pesticides in them or on them.
Oh, yeah.
And blueberries is on that list.
Oh, wow.
I know. I was very bummed today.
Well, that's a shame.
I know.
Because those are antioxidants, and people gravitate to blueberries because of the cancer-causing antioxidant stuff.
Yeah.
And antioxidants keep your body from breaking down, basically. So what else is on there?
So number one,
oh my,
strawberries.
Strawberries.
I know.
Oh,
so this is telling me more and more and more, and my husband has been trying to tell me we need to grow our own food.
Yeah.
So strawberries is number one, then spinach, greens like kale, collard, and mustard greens, right? So these are the top ones with the worst pesticides. Okay, and then when I read how many pesticides, like in celery, if you eat celery, you could be exposed to 67 different pesticides.
That's crazy.
I know, and you don't think of those things.
And you can't get rid of it, can you?
Well, like in what way?
Well, I don't know. The guy that has the Henry table, the chef that has Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I went out there and talked to him, his wife, and he's put that on Facebook that she has an inflammatory response. And so I was talking to him about that because you had talked to me about that, and it was very intriguing. And he was talking about the pesticides that are on foods and how he feels. Well, he would have to tell the story, but he feels like a lot of things that she's eaten over time to get control of weights and things like that, fruits and vegetables, things like that, has caused her to have this inflammatory response. So it's really scary to know what to do.
It is.
But I guess what you'd have to do is an elimination thing. Take everything away, because I might not be responsive to a pesticide where you are.
Right.
And so and they have this, I think it's called Whole30 or something like that, where you take everything away and then you start adding one thing at a time.
That's very similar to autoimmune protocol.
Interesting. So Jerry, one of our participants that lost her leg in the car wreck, she has lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and because she's had her wreck, she can't take her methotrexate anymore. She can't take her prednisone anymore because of her leg healing. And so her knuckles are really getting bigger. And I can tell by looking at her that it's kind of taking its toll. But you know what? We have never in our home, we have never really focused on the foods that could be causing her rheumatoid arthritis and her lupus to be worse. She's never changed her diet to go to the whole 30
Mm-hmm.
and take away everything and then come back with other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this really strikes a thing with me for her, but also myself, because I got off my diet for 2 days and I couldn't get up out of the bed
Yeah.
because I hurt everywhere. And I thought, what in the world? I haven't done anything different,
Mm-hmm.
but I ate what I wanted when I wanted it, because there I was, comfort eating.
Mm-hmm.
And now, it got to where I couldn't move. And I know that it's food.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It is
Wow.
weird. It's pretty, yeah.
That's crazy. So I think I think we see a whole 30 in our process, don't you?
Yeah.
I think we should take that challenge.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something that I need. I need that accountability with that. Yeah.
Okay, so we might do that at home with you and see how her inflammatory response is as well as my own. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the gluten, the
Okay.
celiac and gluten. So when you were talking about, so celiac disease is an inherited autoimmune disorder that affects the digestive process of the small intestines. When a person has celiac disease, when they consume gluten, the individual's immune system responds by attacking the small intestines. Now, can you elaborate anything on celiac?
I will be honest. Even though I have celiac, maybe I'm in denial. I don't know. But I know the autoimmune protocol diet, and if I eat according to that, then it's also eating according to the celiac. I did read a little bit today after you mentioned it to me, and I read some of the symptoms, and I was like, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm eating.
Right.
And I think too, it's one of those kind of silent things. Like the diabetes or the heart disease, we don't necessarily have the symptoms, or we just kind of manage the symptoms with medications or whatever, but we don't think about the damage it's really doing. I have not thought about the damage that it could be doing to my intestines, and I don't want to think about it. So I really don't have a lot of information. I do know that, people think gluten and they think wheat. Well, it comes from a lot of places. It comes from rye and barley, and I even did a little research, and it comes from corn. There is corn gluten. So yeah, I think that's a place where, in general, it needs to be researched by people and by doctors and stuff.
So gluten actually is something that pastes things together, if you will. And so I'm going to read some of these: breads, baked goods, soups, pastas. So if you take the gluten out of pasta, it doesn't stay together at all. I mean, it just won't. Salad dressings, and then we've got because and the reason why it's important for the gluten, and what you're talking about, it can actually damage your intestines. You don't just have celiac and have an upset stomach and maybe
Right.
diarrhea and stuff. It actually is harming you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right. It is something that we do. You would need to look at. And you're talking about the rye, and food coloring has gluten in it.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce, soup, beer. I don't know if you're a big beer drinker or not.
No.
Malt, things like that.
Yeah.
There's just so much that gluten has that gluten is in, and it becomes an inflammatory response as well.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we really need to dive into that. I think that would be a lot of fun too. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us about the inflammatory issues that you have learned? Because you've done these diets before, so tell me something else that you might know.
Well, I mean, I think one of the important things to talk about is how can we help our inflammation. And what we have talked about, eating the antihistamine and the anti-inflammatory and the autoimmune protocol and the Whole30 and grow our own food. But there's a list that I found. Cut back on or eliminate inflammatory foods, which we talked about too. It differs from person to person. Manage stress. Get enough sleep. Lose weight. avoid processed food, eat greens, which I thought was funny since greens is on that
dirty dozen.
dirty dozen list. Exercise regularly, limit alcohol consumption, and stay hydrated. So I think that, I think if a person can't accomplish or feels like an elimination diet is too much, if they could do those other things, I think it would help a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. So we want to do the 30 whole, the whole 30?
Sounds good to me.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think that is a challenge that we will really need to dive into, and we might bring that to the people next week. What's in that whole 30? That 30 days, 30, however you do that. And when I went to, I call it the Fat Farm. There was a girl there which started all this. It's me versus me stuff anyway. But she was there and she was doing the whole 30 and she was amazing. She could run and she was truly amazing, but she felt good. You could tell that she felt good. And when I was there and then I came home and then we were so strict on what we were doing, I felt like I could run miles too. And just as soon as I decided, oh, I can cheat a little bit, that's when those pains started coming.
Yeah.
And so how do you talk yourself into making that decision to go the extra mile, if you will, and decide that you're worth it? How do you do that? When do we do that?
For me, it's a wanting to feel better while I do things specifically with my family. Like, let's just say going kayaking, whether I feel good or not, I'm going to go, but I would rather feel better. Then you can enjoy it more. And to me, that time and enjoying that time more is worth making the decision to do it.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Wow. Well, so I think that people need to realize that the inflammatory response, a lot of times we think it's age. We're getting older, so we don't feel good. I really think we need to all look into these inflammatory issues and see if there's something and we've started a food diary. Now, a food diary for us right now is on the emotional food diary to figure out why we're emotional eaters. When do we eat when we're not supposed to? How do we do that? So I think the food diary for this right now on a whole different level is to see what makes us feel good and what makes us feel bad. And you're talking about that elimination. Now you could eliminate it by saying, oh, I felt fine yesterday.
Right.
And now I don't feel fine today. And it could be something that I ate. So I think it's exciting.
Do we have another second?
We sure do.
I actually, there is a thing that people call a histamine bucket.
Okay.
And sometimes the inflammation is caused by histamines, which I don't exactly know what that is. Maybe you do. But it's like certain foods that I don't tolerate. My body can create histamines, and it's fine for a while. As soon as I put that one more thing on top of that bucket, it overflows, and then I have inflammation. So I can eat, let's say, rice. I can eat rice yesterday, and I can have maybe a little bit for lunch today. But if I have it for dinner, I react just like that.
So your body can sustain it for a little while,
and I think everybody is kind of like that because, and I think we don't necessarily associate it with a specific food. We just think, oh, I ate, whatever. But it can be anything. I think at one point we had talked about bread and how, we kind of talked about like, well, I was fine eating that bread today, or yesterday, but today I seem to be reacting to it, and I think it's probably that histamine bucket could be full, so that's another.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you get stung by a bee and somebody has an anaphylactic reaction, that's a histamine release. So the histamine is like an antibody, or the antibody where if you get cut or you get a bacteria or you get a virus, the antibody comes and it tries to take it away. And then you have the histamine, which is an allergic reaction where it's a dump. So if you don't take if you got an allergy to hay fever or whatever, and you take an antihistamine, all of a sudden you can dry all this stuff up and all that stuff. So histamine is actually your body. It's also defense of what it thinks is attacking it or is harmful. So it's all the same thing.
Okay.
It's all an inflammatory response. It just
Yeah.
it reacts a little differently, but it really is the way that the body takes care of itself. Well, I love that. So did you find out about that bucket? This is something you made up, or you read about it? Because I haven't heard about it.
Yeah,
I love
read
it.
about it. Yeah.
Because you can do something in moderation, but that
Some people can, unless you have the anaphylactic reaction.
wow,
Yeah.
that's really amazing. Was there anything else you'd like to share with us tonight? I love it.
No, I think that's it.
I have learned so much. I have really learned so much. I had not thought about the inflammatory response until I got to a point where I've lost the 35. I got 35 more to go. And all of a sudden, I got off my diet for a couple of days, and then I felt horrible again. And I said, there is something to what you're talking about, the inflammatory responses that I am having, and I've got to get a handle on that. So I am in this with you, and I'm just excited about that. So thank you for
too.
coming tonight.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, and if you'll just stay tuned, we'll be right back, and don't go away. I've got a few more things I would like to share with you, so we'll be right back. Are you struggling with your weight? Do you feel like your health is starting to fail and the fight is just too hard? Well, you're not alone. Many people are fighting the same battle every day. Some win battles, but few win the war. And why is it so hard to win? Because you're fighting against someone who knows you very well, someone who knows your weaknesses and your faults. And who is this enemy? It's you. It's me. That's where It's Me versus Me Life Change Challenge comes in. Hi, my name is Gary Boyd, and I would like to introduce you to a life change program that you can live with and love. What will it take for you to make the necessary changes to take your life back? You can either pay now or you can pay later. The choice is yours, but just know your life is worth it. Sign up to be a participant at itsmeversusme.tv and take back your life today. As the old saying goes, just choosing changes nothing, but deciding changes everything. So why not be a part of a group of people who have chosen life and will receive much encouragement and direction throughout the journey. And I'm right there with you, as I've lost 22 pounds so far, and my household has lost 90 pounds, so we know the struggle is real. Through high-tech 3D body scanning, It's Me versus Me can help take the guesswork out of your fitness and weight loss goals through periodic measurement of your progress. So if you're tired of being tired and watching the world go on without you, make the decision. If not now, then when? Log on to www.itsmeversusme.tv to find out more on how to become a participant. Space is limited, so act fast. Remember, the struggle is real, so let's fight this battle together and be our best selves.
It's me versus me, the struggle is real. It's me versus me, the struggle is real.
Oh, hey, how'd you like that commercial? Awesome, huh? I'm doing my little exercises. Just get up and move at every commercial. When you're watching a show, watching a movie, just get up and move. You don't even have to do anything. You can just stand still and do this. You can just do this, and you can do all kinds of stuff. Or you can carry one of these around. This would be Me versus Me strap. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you can just have one of these sitting by your couch. See, get the logo. You can just have one of these and just be working out, okay? You can take it, put it under your feet like this, pull up. Ah, yeah. See, you can do this at every single commercial. Get up and do something, all right? Get up and do something. Don't forget, we have supplies. We have these, we have these, we have all kinds of stuff. So if you would like to purchase some of these and support It's Me Versus Me, go to www.itsmeversusmelifechange@gmail.com. That's www.itsmeversusmelifechange@gmail.com. And if you'd like to become a participant, please fill out the questionnaire, send me a text, send me a message, whatever. And I just want to welcome you, and we have spots available. And whenever you decide to come in, your 16 weeks starts right then. So you don't have to wait for the next 16 weeks in the new group. So now, we'll see you next week, Sunday, 8 p.m. every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please go and watch all the other videos and learn a lot. Tonight was a great show. Last week was a great show. Now let's get up and get moving and be our best selves, okay? Bye-bye. See y'all next week.
It's me versus me, the struggle is real. It's me versus me, the struggle is real.